Are our kids too plugged into their electronics and tuning out, that is, of real life? Demetria Gallegos is a mother of 4, community editor for the Wall Street Journal, and my guest this morning. I should say mother of 4 teenagers.
Almost, yes. The youngest is
Almost.
11, and she's well on her way.
So you're dealing with this in its toughest form. I have younger kids, so I can still regulate it, as you suggest, by a reward system.
Right, and when our kids were younger, my husband seized on a brilliant idea, which was just to allow them to earn computer time through exercise. And so they would have to take a bike ride or a hike with him, or get some sports time in before they had any screen time. But then they became teenagers, and this became a nightly requirement with their homework. Hours of homework, sometimes online, and we couldn't tell the difference anymore between work and play. We just knew that it was taking longer and longer and cutting into sleep time.
So you say it's kind of like eating and going on a diet. You still have to eat even when you're on a diet. And so for kids now, they still have to use computers because they need them for school.
Absolutely.
Here are some of your points. Don't be oblivious. Know how much. How do you monitor it?
Well, we began this discussion in my family because there was one very dark Sunday in December where I knew that everybody was laying around all day, and I clocked it on Netflix later and found out we had watched 14 and a half hours of programming, and it was almost all The Sweet Life with Zach and Cody. So we canceled Netflix, but then we were like, that's just one temptation. We had to have some very difficult family talks, and I really pushed the kids to come up with some answers around this themselves. So it really opened my eyes and my husband's eyes to what was really going on. Of course, he was pretty clear all along that this was in excess, and I was just a little bit behind him in recognizing that. So once the conversation began, we asked the kids to help us innovate some of the solutions around this.
So what did you come up with? Because you have consequences, even though they're teenagers.
Well, right now, my girls are at a better place than they were a few months ago of signaling very clearly where they stand in their homework. They will say to me, Mom, I'm going to take a 30-minute break because I'm 2 hours ahead on homework tonight, and I feel like I deserve a break. Well, I appreciate them telling me that, so there's no nagging around that. Once we discover they're playing a game again or back in the video, we can, you know, be confident where they stand.
So I guess that falls under your point of develop clearer communication.
Yes, clearer communications is one of my top findings.
And finally, you say install a router kill switch.
We had some great ideas come back to us from commenters on this column, and where we seized on an idea of having our kids make sure that their grades are at a certain level before we would like back off and get out of their way on their computer access. This woman is remodeling her home and putting a kill switch in the master bedroom. Now, not everybody has to do that. I think there are many points short of that, just everything from the parental controls on PCs and Macs that allow you to turn the devices off at a certain time of night, or just taking the router power switch to bed with you if necessary.
Wow, well, it's a complicated issue, and it's one that every parent is dealing with right now. Demetria Gallegos, so thanks much for your thoughts.
Thank you, Gretchen.
And good luck.
You too.
Breaking news from the Vatican on the so-called VatiLeaks scandal. The Pope says he will tell one person. Details top of the hour. Then no nap for this kid. We gotta watch this. It'll make you laugh today. Caught on camera, what toddlers do when you think they're sleeping. Yeah.